On this episode of the Bryant Buzz, Liam Babbit sits down with Miss Wilma Lee about her long tenure as a teacher in the Bryant Public Schools.
I came in 91, so I've been here 31 years.
Plus, Arielle Kirkley features the robotics program, hard at work for their upcoming competitions.
Hopefully we've qualified for state. We are defending state champions right now.
Also, Eli Hill has been documenting all month long the preparation for Shrek the Spring Musical.
It really is a team effort.
And Portugal Diaz heads back to the Saline County Career Tech Center to see what's happening with industrial technology.
Everything from making boxes to making bulletproof vests. We have a need for these kind of technicians.
And as always, Nick Skavio provides our monthly 212 Spotlight sophomore Brilyn Findley.
Never stop, just always have the mentality of keep going.
All of that on this episode of the Bryant Buzz.
Welcome to the Bryant Buzz. I'm Kylie Evans.
And I'm Carson Hobson. Thanks for being with us.
Each month on the Bryant Buzz, we showcase the people and programs that make up the Bryant community.
Our first story features someone who has worked in the district since 1991.
You can find this person just down the hill at Bryant Middle School.
As the first African-American educator in the district, Miss Lee has seen a lot of change throughout her time here.
With more on the progress Bryant Public Schools has made in the past 31 years, here's Hornet Media reporter Liam Babbit.
For over 3 decades, Miss Wilma Lee has been teaching and making history at Bryant Middle School. Hired in 1991, she was the first black educator in the district.
And Mr. Spencer shared with the group, he said, you may notice some changes around here. And, people started looking around, looking for the changes. I raised up and I was looking for the changes too. And then I realized that I was the change.
This paved the way for the inclusivity and opportunity seen today. Her journey has been one of hardships and victories, beginning almost 200 years ago.
I can't just start with me, because my journey is far more than me and the sum of who you see in front of you right now. I'd like to share that my grandfather was born a slave, and my father was a sharecropper. I came through segregation. I didn't go to segregated schools. I was fortunate enough to begin shortly after integration, but I can certainly tell you that I felt the effects of integrated schools.
While her journey began with the family before her, Miss Lee has carried the burdens of racial discrimination. Whether from coworkers, parents, or even students, she has persevered through these trials.
We had a parent-teacher conference, and I went into the teacher's room and let her go in for the conference, and I stayed back so that she could meet with the parents. While in that classroom, the child looked at me in terror, and with tears in his eyes, he said, I thought I wasn't going to see anybody like you here. My mommy told me, he tried to articulate it as best he could. My mommy told me there weren't going to be anybody here like you.
However, even in the face of oppression, Miss Lee never treated a student harshly and continued to spread the message of hope and grit. Above the door as students leave is a message in bold letters to reach for the stars, a sentiment that dates back to Miss Lee's own journey.
I really think it was something that was handed down from the slaves to offer hope, to encourage them to reach and to keep reaching, to obtain something that maybe it seems impossible, but nevertheless, you keep reaching. My father, oftentimes, I can remember him leaning down, bending down, and talking to me, eyeball to eyeball, and I didn't know what he was doing, but I do now. And he was, trying to impress upon me in a great way to reach for the stars. You can be anything you've ever dreamed or imagined you can be.
For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Liam Babbit.
Reach for the stars. What can you be?
Anything and everything.
Be something great.
Thanks, Liam, for that story. February is Career and Technical Education Month. Our next story focuses on robotics, a CTE program here at Bryant. During buzz time and class time, the robotics team is hard at work in Building 22 preparing for competition season. Hornet media reporter Arielle Kirkley checks in with the defending state champion robotics team led by Mr. Maxwell.
The BHS Robotics Club has been hard at work the last few weeks preparing for the upcoming competition season. Former math teacher Mr. Maxwell has always been into the technical aspect and took over the robotics program 2 years ago. After a successful year last year, the stakes are once again high for this year's team.
We are defending state champions right now, so love to go and win state. And if we do win state this year, then we're on to Dallas for Worlds.
The students compete in VEX Robotics, a control system for educational robotics parts used to build pre-planned and custom robotic systems.
VEX Robotics, they claim to be the greatest 2 minutes of robotics in the world, and I would agree. But essentially, you have about a minute to drive and score as many points as possible, but then you also have a 15-second period where you can score autonomously by programming.
Multiple team members have to work together for the process to be successful.
It's a combination in between designing, you have a driver, there's a notebook process which you have to document, how you build it, why you build it, and how you program it too.
VEX Robotics is much more than simply learning how to build a robot. Students are also learning skills that they can apply to the real world.
They have to work on their comprehension skills, their communication skills, and because a lot of these things happen kind of on the fly, they have to make decisions, kind of weigh options, and go about trying to plan for a good solution.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a robotics engineer earns an average of roughly $81,000 a year, so it's a good thing high school students are able to begin developing these skills early.
I mean, given the fact that the robotics field is growing and that there's now more automation in the workplace, I feel like it's a good field and I'll probably go into it.
For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Arielle Kirkley.
Thanks, Arielle. Robotics isn't the only exciting thing happening around campus. The Bryant Theater Department is just days away from performing their spring musical. This year's selection, Shrek the Musical, is one that hits home for many of the students who grew up watching the animated movie and the sequels. Hornet media reporter Eli Hill, who is also one of the crew members for the show, has been documenting the process of rehearsal all month long.
All right, I hope you heard that. She called me a double steed.
From fairy tales to true love, Bryant High School has it all in their upcoming show. While last week we brought you a behind-the-scenes look with the tech crew in Shrek the Musical, this time we're getting on the stage to see the actor's point of view. Near the end of last semester, auditioning was held, and for sophomore Jace Gladden,
That's you! What a terrific surprise!
He was ready.
Well, at the time that they were announcing that they were holding auditions for Shrek, I had just recently joined Thespians, and I was also thinking, like, what would my first debut be? And when I saw it was Shrek the Musical, I was super happy because I remember seeing Shrek the Musical on Netflix maybe about like a year ago or so, and I fell in love with it. I also fell in love with the character Farquaad, so I was like, I'm going to try out for that guy.
Early on, rehearsals for Shrek were pretty simple, just going through the script to get an understanding of the characters. But as time moved on, then it got closer to performance, the practices intensify. Drama teacher and director Jeremy Clay is balancing various forms of rehearsal.
Rehearsals are usually of three types. We have music rehearsals where we learn how to sing certain notes and we go through and try to figure out our singing parts. We also have choreography rehearsals where we learn the dancing parts of different songs. And we have what I call blocking or acting rehearsals where we work through some of the movement.
Everyone has a part to play. From the tech crew all the way down to the side characters, everyone is important. Senior Carson Clay, playing the role of Shrek, says that this performance is much more than just the lead role.
We all rely on each other. Like, the people doing sound, they can't do their job unless they can hear the people on stage. And the people on stage can't do their job unless, they've been given, good blocking directions. And the blocking direction people they can't do their job if all the set things aren't in their place. Everyone relies on each other.
The students have encountered a few problems along the way with such a big production.
Just emoting, trying to put the energy into it so people far away can, tell how you're feeling just from how you're standing and how you look.
In the last few days, the crew has kept going by practicing on Zoom due to recent bad weather. And in just a few days, the theater department will put on a performance of a lifetime. filled with laughs and smiles.
I'm ready to hear some laughter after the tough times that we've had as far as living through a pandemic. I think it's time for us to laugh.
For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Eli Hill.
Thanks, Eli, for that report. Shrek the Musical takes place March 3rd through the 5th in Love Auditorium.
When we come back, Portugal Diaz reports from the Saline County Career Tech campus.
Stay with us. You're watching the Bryant Buzz.
Hey Hornets, follow us on Instagram at Hornet News Now to stay connected with all things related to the Hornet Media program. To find episodes of Hornet News Now, the Bryant Buzz, and additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bryant High School Hornet Media. Need even more entertainment? Listen to the all-new Hornet Media podcast. The show features in-depth discussion and interviews about what's happening on the Bryant High School campus. Search What's Happening Hornets, available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Welcome back to the Bryant Buzz. I'm Kylie Evans.
And I'm Carson Hobson.
The new Saline County Career Tech campus is on the cutting edge of technology, providing high-skilled training opportunities for the future workforce.
We've all become accustomed to a fast-paced lifestyle in recent years, and this program combines both efficiency and urgency to help with that lifestyle.
Industrial technology uses skills from engineering and manufacturing to make production faster and more efficient.
With more, here's Hornet Media reporter Portugal Diaz.
Pneumatic hydraulics, gear drives, and robotic arms. Taking a peek into industrial technology might have you wondering about the amount of skill and knowledge it takes to learn this class. With 26 years of experience as an electrician and now an expert in his line of work, it's his first year of teaching industrial technology, and Mr. John Westbrook is aiming to lead the future generation of engineers in the right direction.
The reason that I got into instructing is that I was one of the people in the workforce that couldn't find workers, couldn't find trained workers, all the stress and worry that comes with that.
Now, what exactly is industrial technology?
Mechatronics, basically, or industrial equipment repair. We teach different disciplines of that: hydraulics, pneumatics, electrical, motor control. We start out with fundamentals of electricity, then we learn how to read blueprints, then we learn how to do computer-aided drafting.
With industrial technology careers not being well known among high school students, it tends to go under the radar.
A lot of people think that the jobs are nasty, or that it's just not as maybe attractive as some of the other jobs are, which is really not true.
Industrial technology is a career open to anyone looking for great opportunities, even for those not planning to go to college.
When I was in high school, one of the ways to be successful was to go to college. I think that carried over into, success equals college, where now students come out of programs with low or no student debt. They're able to go right into the workforce, perform a skill that's high paying.
A star student in Westbrook's class is Carter Roberts. He's achieved a lot of progress in the class despite having no prior experience.
Well, I wanted to do something more technical for my career, so whenever they said that they are opening this place up, I jumped on that and I signed up for it. And the only class that really got my interest was this one, industrial technology.
With help from the large funding of the Career Center, the industrial technology class can work around barriers by using VR headsets.
We bought this from a company, and the program allows us to do basic learning in almost any field we want. It's an innovation that helps students learn faster, and it can make up for gaps in the teaching that the teachers don't cover.
And don't forget, on March 10th, the Industrial Technology class is taking their work to Bishop Park for the 2022 Sea Perch competition, as they will demonstrate zero-gravity work underwater. For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Portugal Diaz.
Thanks, Portugal. It's always great to be able to see what else the Saline County Career Tech Center has to offer.
If you've attended Bryant basketball games, then you've seen this athlete making an impact.
This month's 212 Spotlight is a sophomore on the girls basketball team. With more, here's Hornet Media reporter Nick Skavio.
This month's 212 Spotlight is sophomore Brilyn Findley. If you've attended a basketball game this season, you might have seen her magic on the court. In addition to being a phenomenal basketball player, she is also on the Bryant track team. Brilyn is in her second year of varsity for basketball and track after excelling as a freshman. She even won a state title for the women's 4x100 relay team last year. She's now used to the tough competition in both sports.
It seemed like a lot of pressure at first, but then I started getting used to it, and I like playing people on the upper level.
Outside of school athletics, Brilyn competes on the AAU team, the Mavericks, which is a higher age group than she belongs to.
I play 1 or 2 years up, and everybody is really good, so it's a lot more competition, and it's just competing every game, every practice. It's nonstop.
Brylan has taken a new approach on the 212 mentality. Instead of making winning an option, she has decided to dedicate her whole mindset into making winning as something normal.
It's like never stop, just always have the mentality of keep going, and just winning is normal. You have to win.
As a sophomore, Brylan is gathering interest from various colleges, and she knows she wants to one day be a college athlete.
Volleyball, I quit last year to focus on basketball. And track, honestly, in college, I don't know which one I want to do because I just love both of them so much. And track, I really do love track. Just jumping and running.
For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Nick Skavio.
That's our show for this month. You can keep up to date with the Hornet Media program by following us online.
On our YouTube channel at Bryant High School Hornet Media and on Instagram at Hornet News Now.
Plus, check out the What's Happening Hornets podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for watching. I'm Carson Hobson.
And I'm Kylie Evans. Have a great day, everybody.